To provide supportive and positive environment with members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting into greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I announce this meeting as open and hand over the stage to the presiding officer, Toastmaster leaders. Hello everyone. Welcome to the 360th meeting of Agnel Toastmasters Club. I declare the meeting open. Today, I am going to share a short story with you of Anina. Picture this. It's 11:30 p.m. at night. Anina and her friend are coming home in the car from a party. Anina was a talented cricketer and she was recently chosen for the Indian cricket team as a main batsman. Her eyes were filled with dreams of playing for India, of victories and centuries that she could win. But fate had some other plans. Her car met with an accident with a truck and she went unconscious. When she woke up, she was in the hospital in the bed and she was in tremendous pain. And as she looked down, she observed that her right hand was gone. With her dominant hand not available, she was not able to bat for her entire life, and her world was shattered. She went under depression. Even after discharge, she stayed in her room and did not come out. Days passed by, and soon, after a few days, her mentor came to me. He said, Anina, what happened? Why are you so sad? He said, I cannot sad. I cannot fulfill my dream. He said, no problem. You cannot bat, but you can go. With some confusion, Anina went after her mentor with him in the garden the next day. The garden was full of bushes and shrubs. The mentor, instead of giving her the ball, told her to cut the bushes. She started cutting the bushes. This happened for the whole day. She was frustrated, but she thought, okay, I'll do that. I have to clean the garden and then start over. Days passed and even weeks passed. She was just cutting the bushes. Later, after 1 month, all the bushes were cut. She said, now can I go? No, today my maid has not come. So can you cook food for me? She wanted what to eat. But she started cooking. With one hand, she started cooking the food. She took the food and gave it to her leader. He said, no, no, this is for you. I have ordered pizza for you. For a few days, she made her cook, even get the water from the well. She struggled a lot. And at one point of time, he said, sir, I am a cricketer. I am here to bowl and not to be a gardener or to be a cook. Oh, you want to bowl? The mentor said, okay, come and bowl. As she started bowling, she realized that she was way off target. And then her mentor told her, you have lost your dominant right hand. Your left hand is weak. And you have to make it strong. You have to make it as strong as your previous right hand. And in order to do that, you have to do all the regular activities with your left hand. And in these few days, you have done that. She understood her mentor and then carried on doing whatever her mentor told her to do. And few days later, she even started bowling and even played for India. So what are the two things that we learn from this story? First is that with patience and persistence, you can do wonders. At times you will feel that there are things are difficult and you are not able to do things. But if you keep on practicing with hard work, you are sure you will be able to achieve it. And second thing is good mentorship, good guidance. Like for example, we have our own mentors, and they will sometimes push you to take some roles, which you will find it challenging. But definitely, if you take those roles, you will be able to overcome your fears and do wonders. So with that, I would like to end my presenting of the speech, and I would like to welcome our guests. We have two guests today, so maybe so you can stand up and tell us your name. How did you come to know about us, and what do you expect from this meeting?
Good evening, friends. My name is Agnel, and I have around 30 years of working experience, basically mainly in manufacturing and supply chain. And I came to know about this meeting through Meetup.
Meetup, okay.
My expectation is to learn something new.
Okay. Thank you. I'm working as global demand planner for Service State. I have 14 years of experience, and I joined Toastmasters to improve my certification and even that are essential for my growth and education. And after was I love reading the audiobooks, and currently I'm reading the video in strategy, which is helping us to improve the value management and I think stay ahead of the company. And I am other to 9 years. With that, I will hand over the meeting to the next participant, our next role player. First, I will introduce him. He is an MBA with 5 years of experience, and his hobby is to love watching comedy series and comedy movies. And he joined Toastmasters to get away of his shyness, even though I don't feel that he's shy. Let us welcome Toastmaster Navi.
Good evening, Toastmasters and dear viewers. Today, my name is Navi. Not today, my name is Navi. My name is Navi. And today, I am Toastmaster of the day. The theme of the day is Dare to Lead. So, it's very common theme. Very foundational or basic foundation. If we understand this particular thing, it can become phenomenal in our life. It can change our life. So if I ask a question to audience, what is the meaning of life for you? Question to people, what is meaning of life? Any meaning of life or the purpose of life for you? What does life means to you?
To be happy.
To be happy, right?
Life means attending Toastmaster meeting.
Attending Toastmaster meeting. Good. Another answer, please. Everyone can try.
Work and life. Work-life balance.
Work and to balance
Work
work in your life.
Okay.
Can you
Ensure you are happy as well as people around you are happy.
So your happiness as well as the happiness of the society, of the society, for the ecosystem and part.
having the proper composition of all the feeling, pleasure, pain. So that is the benefit.
So you want pain also to be
It's a
part.
part of the life, like without.
So, altogether new answer, pain also to be part of life. So if I see every answer may be right or may be wrong. If I come from a perspective that I am having an answer in my mind, and the other people's answers should be in sync or coherence with my answer, it can create friction. And I can be judgmental and say that you are right or you are wrong. But if I allow my mind that truth has many faces, and even if I'm having some truth, doesn't mean that truth needs to be universal. Because what you live, what you face, that's the truth of yours. And until unless you have faced it, until unless you have felt it on your own life or on your own walk of virtues, you can't say it's your truth. Till the time it will be someone else's truth. The moment I ask my mind that I'm right, but that other person is equally right, altogether new miracle happens in my life. What's that? It kind of gives me a chance to accept the variances. It gives me chance to accept the opposite opinions. Now, a lot of time we are at pain. Why we are at pain? We are at pain because who are we? We are born with two things. We are a living being and we are born with intelligence. Going forward, we acquire an identity. And what's that identity? We call that identity our mind. Dheeraj's mind. In Dheeraj's mind, Dheeraj is right. In Dharmesh's mind, Dharmesh is right. But we forget that every one of us are born with almost equal intelligence across the planets. And the mind we born ourselves, we identify with Dheeraj, Ravi, Rohita. It's a product of ecosystem we are born into. The parents we got, the parents what they taught us, the family we are brought up in, the school we went in, the part of country we are born in. All those things make your mind. And using that mind, we kind of say sometimes that I'm right, the other person is wrong. For example, if I discuss here that polygamy or polyandry is right, many of you would be frowned upon me. How come you can go against the societal norms? How can you say that multiple marriages is right? But you go to different parts of the world, there are many tribes part where the polyandry or the polygamy is acceptable. There, those people won't find that thing unhappy. That those things won't be found as unacceptable. They will be completely acceptable. So it's not the act. It's not the act that gives us pain. It's not the happening that gives us the pain. It's our mind. And the definition of that word, definition of or the meaning of that act which we have imprinted gives us that this is right or this is wrong. Why same thing could be right or wrong in different parts of the world accordingly. For example, living experiences before marriages is very much acceptable or necessary in the European part of the world. While the same thing in India is frowned upon. So we may say that this is completely wrong here in India, but European it would be completely a normal thing. So if I say it's right or wrong, it would be there is nothing right, there is nothing wrong. And we have to make our mind understand that in life, it's all occurrences of happening of events, a chaotic happening of events. And if my mind is saying that this is right, it's well and good. But if it's saying wrong and creating problem for me, or creating pain for me, then my mind is working as a enemy of my mind is not working for my own happiness, rather it is working to create friction or create pain in my life. So every time, next time, when your mind is telling you that this is wrong, that is wrong, just take it that there is nothing right, there is nothing wrong. If you are making me happier, you are my friend. If you are not making me happier and creating a lot of friction and a lot of overthinking, this point of time, you are acting as enemy to me. And better you wrap yourself around that opposite definition of the counter meaning of the counter unhappy event. I will continue with this thing in the second time in the discussions. Now I would like to brief how the session will go. So session will have three sections. The first section would be of the prepared speeches, where already allotted slot allotted people would come with the prepared speech. They will deliver the speech, and that will be evaluated in the evaluation section. The second slot would be the table topic. Now, what is table topic? Table topic is impromptu delivery of speeches for a particular time period. So our guests as well as members will be encouraged to take part in that. So in table topic, you will be given a topic impromptu. You will come to stage and you will deliver a speech on that. That's table topic. Now the last segment would be of the evaluation, where we will call upon G, general evaluator, to take forward that part of the session, and also in that part, the evaluation of the speeches, already given speeches, will happen. So that's the format we will follow. Now I would like to call upon my tactic, the most important player of the session, tactic player, and the grammarian. So Rohidas, welcome. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. How many of you watch cricket? Please raise your hand. Appreciating plus person crowd. How many of you seen Surya Kumar Yadav batting? What does he know by? Power. It's hard to be. Exactly. Big round of applause for this gentleman. That is the P60th meeting we are having. That's why I shared this. My role as a grammarian today would be to ensure that I pay close attention to each speaker and listen carefully their language uses. I'll note any improper usage of the language, as well as I'll make note of the outstanding words, codes, saying, or thoughts. And as a grammarian, it's my duty to introduce you all with the word of the day and the phrase of the day. So the word of the day today is gallantry, and the meaning of this word is courageous behavior, which is often associated with chivalry, honor, or heroic acts. The example would be his gallantry in the face of adversity inspired everyone around him to push beyond their limits. And the phrase of the day would be spread your wings. Meaning is it is a metaphor that refers to the moment when someone is ready to move beyond their current limitations and try to explore new opportunities or challenges. Example would be after building her company from the ground up, it was clear that she had succeeded and it was trying to spread her wings by expanding internationally. So I will encourage each speaker on the stage to use the word of the day and the phrase of the day. Whenever the speaker uses the word of the day or phrase of the day, we will appreciate them by showing our thumbs up. So I'll give my grammarian report when called upon by the Toastmaster of the day or the general evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster. Now I would like to call upon Tiger. Ivan, welcome.
It's not. There was a famous, sorry. There was a famous violinist who was performing and giving a flawless piece in 3 minutes at a concert. The audience were really all wow, what a beautiful music. So after the music and the concert ended, someone went to the musician, violinist, he said, you could have performed, much longer. The violinist smiled and replied, yeah, but the beauty lies in the timing. If I had played a little longer, the music would have lost its magic. So this story reminds us that the timing is not just about limits, but giving each moment its purpose and impact. So, good evening, Toastmasters already, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Timarkanta Sharma, team Timarkanta Sharma, timer of the day. As a timer, my duty is to time the prepared speeches, paper topics, and evaluations. For prepared speeches, the time allotted varies based on projects, and that will be stated by the evaluator. For instance, icebreaker is for icebreaker, the time allotted is 4 to 6 minutes. For paper topics, it's 1 to 2 minutes. And for evaluation, it's 2 to 3 minutes. Speakers must meet the specified time limit to qualify the awards at the end of the meeting. I will display the green card at the minimum qualifying time. Then I will display the yellow card at the midpoint of the qualifying time. Then I will display the red card at the end of the qualifying time and will keep displaying the card till the end of the speech. For prepared speeches, the evaluation, for the prepared speeches and evaluation, the speaker has 30-second grace time before the minimum qualifying time and after the maximum qualifying time. For table topics, there is a grace time of 30 seconds only after the red screen is displayed. All speakers who continue to speak for 30 seconds, beyond 30 seconds, grace time will not qualify for the votes. I will report the time taken by the speaker when called upon. Thank you. Over to you.
Now I will call upon our founder.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests. My name is Arsha Rai, and today I am assigned the role of our counter. So as we have guests, so first I would like to brief you what is our counter. Our counter is essential tool in any public speaking development. Basically, when we have a speaker, so some speakers use filler and they are unconscious about it. So the R counter makes them understand about their speaking habits, which reduce the reliance of fillers such as word, expression, sound. And some speakers cautiously use these things and like when they are in flow. So our counter helps them in understanding again about their behavior so that they can come prepare and perform better next time. So in my today's role, I will listen all the crutches and false filler which is taken by anyone who speak here on the podium. For example, the words crutch like and the filler words like but, like, so, okay. Sometimes they repeat the same phrases like I, when. So I will take a note of all these things and at the end of the meeting, I will present like which speaker have used these filler how many times so that they can implement it and next time they can present it. Okay.
Now we will begin with the first section of our session, that's a prepared speech. And I would like to call upon, so first speaker is Rajesh, and he's going to deliver his first ice-breaking speech. And when a Toastmaster gives his ice-breaking speech, we are supposed to give standing ovation. So once he delivers the speech, you are supposed to give standing ovation. I would like to call upon evaluator Amruta to state the speech title.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and my target student is Mr. Rajesh. Today he is going to deliver level 1 project 1 from pathway imaging human. Time of please note time is 46 minutes. And all the very best Toastmaster Rajesh. Over to you, Toastmaster Rajesh.
So I would like to call upon Toastmaster Rajesh. Toastmaster Rajesh, ideal question, Toastmaster Rajesh.
Thank you. I have a brilliant business idea. I have created an AI-powered app which can help your pets find their soulmates. Would you be interested? Warren Buffett has already committed $1 billion for this. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, for 15 years, I tried to become an entrepreneur. I dreamt about it and finally I succeeded. And this is my story. I come from a family which considers getting into business as repulsive as seeing a cockroach. I did my engineering and then MBA from Jamnagar, Mumbai. I got a job with Coca-Cola. One day, my boss bought a Hyundai i20. So I congratulated him. He told me, if you work very hard, if you work day and night, then next year I will buy a new one. I was shocked. Yeah, but what about me? So he gave me 2 pieces of advice. One, get promoted. 2, pray that you will also get a team member like yourself who will work hard to make you rich. But I didn't want to get rich this way. So that day I decided I will become an entrepreneur. But first I had to get myself into a company which is a startup so that I get a real or like a startup which can give me a real life experience. So I shifted jobs and joined a company called Industrial. It was a new company, but it was quite big. God was very magnanimous in fulfilling my desire. I wanted to work in a chaotic company, and I got more chaos than I could handle. But it was good for me. I also became a CEO there of a division. So life was going on well, but my entrepreneurial itch continued. And I was wondering, are there other people like me who would also have this kind of a wish? So at age 35, I took a big financial decision. I decided to do my second MBA from the University of Chicago, Wood School of Business. This was a very difficult decision because the amount of loan that I had to take for it is equivalent to buying a house in Mumbai. My father was very upset about it. But whoever I used to ask would not praise my gallantry. They would say, why is it you want to do another MBA? You already have a good MBA with you. And why would you spend so much money? But I stuck to my guns, I went. Here, one of the highlights of this particular program was participating in the New Venture Challenge. So I teamed up with 2 other people and came up with a business idea. We went for the contest. Went right up to the finals, which was held in Chicago. and presented. We didn't win the contest, but it was well appreciated, and that gave a lot of confidence. In fact, one of my investor friends also asked me whether I could join him to bring that idea to life. But I was neck deep in debt, so that was not the time for me to take any further risk. I had refused. But my poor investor friend did not realize what was in store for him, because I would pester him after that. So in the subsequent years, I focused on earning money, which would actually help me regain my financial strength. At the same time, try out many new ideas. And I kept working with ideas as diverse as starting a manufacturing unit for power systems, or for having online tutorials, lots of ideas. Every time I used to get an idea, I used to ask my friend whether he would be willing to invest. And he would always say, yes, but if you do, then I will do. And I would never do it. So this kept on going. Finally, I suspect he got tired of me. So he put me across to another friend of his. And this person was wanting to exit from a consulting business. Exit in the sense he wanted to retire, that his business was not doing well. So he asked me whether I could take over. I thought it was a good opportunity. This is something I wanted for a long time. And I spoke to my financial advisor, who advised me that yes, I am prepared for it. So I went for it. And that is how I became an entrepreneur. Now it has been 5 years that I am an entrepreneur. Things are going okay. When I started, we were only a team of 4. Now we are 40. Our revenues have also increased tenfold. And I have a grand vision for the future. I want to make it a global enterprise by spreading our wings. So one lesson that I would like to leave you with is never lose sight of your goals. Keep working on it. And even if it takes time, finally you will win. Thank you.
Just 1 minute of silence so that everyone can feel the feedback for the speech given. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Panampani, and his speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Rasmi. I will request Toastmaster Rasmi to state the speech details.
Very good evening to everyone. My target speaker for today is Toastmaster Padmapani. He is attempting his level 1 project 3 from the presentation mastery. The purpose of today's speech is to introduce vocal variety and body language in his speech, which will enhance it better. I wish you all the best.
Toastmaster Padmapani. So Toastmaster Padmapani, all is well.
Thank you.
All is well. Don't worry, I'm not going to dance and sing. I'm going to give a speech. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, I'm going to talk about incident in my entrepreneurship. In entrepreneurship, there are many advantages as well as disadvantages. One main advantage is you can spread your business. And one disadvantage, you cannot run away from the situation. You have to face it. You have to take bull by the horns. One day, I had taken a day off from my office. I was relaxing. As usual, my phone was on silent mode. After some time, I checked my phone. And I was stunned to see 20 missed calls in the span of 30 minutes from my office. Admin person touching. I thought something is wrong. So before calling up, I checked my phone for the messages. And there it was. Sir, please call urgently. There are 8 police cops in my office, in our office. I almost dropped my phone. I could hear my heartbeat. That. I went completely black. Then I took breathe with 2 deep breaths. Said, all is well, all is well. I gathered courage to call my office. But I was not getting courage. Cascade of thoughts coming. Am I the villain of movie finger? So many cops to catch me. Jackal script. No. Has somebody planted drugs in my office? Is someone using my IP address to send treatments? Has anyone using my Aadhaar and PAN to commit any fraud? Or are these fake cops like special service? But finally, I called in. My office person Sachin was almost on the verge of breaking down. Sir, please come, otherwise they will take me. So what can I do? I asked him, how many cops? He said 8 cops. Yes, sir. There are 3 gents, 2 ladies, 2 in plain clothes, 1 with blazer. Blazer, plain clothes, ladies cops. Are they from CBI? Or are they from ED? Or are they from IT? But I am not so big to call for big friends. I am a common person. So I told him, don't worry, boy, don't worry. I'll do something. After listening to him, I just thought for some time and called up my lawyer friend. I narrated him the story and asked him, should I go and meet the cops in office? He told me, don't go. What is the reason? I told him, my office boy is saying that is for anti-piracy. But he said for anti-piracy, 8 cops will not. So there is something wrong. He cautioned me not to go. I asked why not to go. He said, if you go, something happens, court is closed for 2 days. You will not get bail. So again, I imagine myself, Jackal secret sitting in police station with lawyer and publish giving anticipated bail papers. And by that time,
our discussion was over. Again, I got call from my office. This time, police directly. Eastern words. Babu, what kind of person you are? You are sitting in your office and you are not even bothered to turn up. I said, sir, I'm not there in town. I know you are in town. If you don't turn up in 30 minutes, we are taking your bag. I said, why? You know what to do? Frantically, I started calling my people I know who may have some contact with police. So fortunately, I got someone who connected me to senior officer. I called him up and narrated him all the story. He just comforted me. He said, take me to something. So he called up nearest police station and said, one police officer visit my office. So my office person, Sachin, send him to police call. Someone from nearest police station is coming here. After listening to that, surprisingly, they got worried. And probably they started one by one, they left. So from that it was clear they had come here just to extort money. They were not real cop. So I thank Sachin for handling the situation. And I thank him for his guarantee. So this way, all the situation was diffused. And at least for that day, one problem was resolved. So I take 2 day breaks and say to myself, all is very good. Thank you.
Our third speaker is Dheeraj, to be evaluated by Toastmaster Raghav. I request Toastmaster Raghav to state the speech objective.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Toastmaster Dheeraj is attempting level 2 project 1 speech of pathway presentation mastery. Purpose of this project is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify their primary style. Timer, please note, the speech time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Dheeraj, and over to you, Imran.
I request Toastmaster Dheeraj.
Have you ever felt completely misunderstood, even though you were certain you were clear? Or you found yourself in a conversation where the other person didn't seem to understand what you are saying? I think many of us have been through such situations. And obviously, I am not talking about your conversation with your wife and girlfriend. There no communication style works. But in general, if you are using the right set of communication style, you will be able to deliver your message in a efficient, seamless, and effective way. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster and guest. Today I will be sharing with you all different style of communications, what are my style of communication, and all those styles of communication help me in different scenarios. So let's start with what are the different style of communication. So basically there are 4 styles of communications: direct, supportive, initiating, and analytical. So direct style of communication is basically result oriented. Here the purpose of communication is only to get the things done. Your teammates does not matter. Supportive style of communication means is basically it is relationship oriented. Here the work is secondary. First you want to build relationship with your team. Third is initiating. Here the purpose is to socialize, manage a energetic team. And the last is analytical, which is basically logical oriented communication, a very precise communication, data oriented. So my style of communication is basically blend of direct and analytical style of communication. And if in a brief, I tell you what this communication means. It means to get the things done in a very short and logical manner. And this style of communication helped me in different scenarios. Let me share with you all one incident where this style of communication, direct and analytical, helped me to get my thing done. So there was a project review meeting, and then in that meeting, there was a discussion that what are the technologies that we should look for the future and what are the aspects that we should take into account while deciding for a big project for the country for a longer run. And in that project, basically two important lasers were there. One was an old lasers and another was an advanced laser. So the few seniors started talking about the advanced laser. They started explaining the advantages of the advanced laser, that it is efficient, economical, very compact, and technology-wise also it's very at advanced stage. And an impression was created in that meeting that this project will be requiring only these advanced lasers, and this old lasers, which is basically a copper laser, is becoming an absolute identity. It is not needed. So at that point, I was sitting in that room and I was thinking that you are deciding a big project for the country for decades to go, or maybe 100 years to go, and you are only thinking from the technological point of view. So that is a short-sightedness. Because if you are deciding a project, you should also see whether this technology is indigenous, imported, what are the components that are imported, and from which country we are importing those components, and also how much technological understanding of that laser is available in India. So I showed my gallantry, and the first time I raised in that meeting in the front of all the senior people, and I started speaking. I started telling them that we should give equal impetus, we should give equal focus to both the lasers, copper vapor, let's say advanced lasers and the old lasers, and why we should keep this old lasers alongside this advanced laser in this project, because this old laser is completely indigenous. All the components are available in India, and we have a thorough understanding, thorough know-how of this old laser. Suppose if the global scenario changes and if any country stops giving us that component of that advanced lasers or stop giving project will come to standstill. The first time I raised my fingers, showed my knowledge about this global scenario, not only the technical, logical aspect, also from the global point of view, that how like Russian-Ukraine war has impacted our neon supply chain and all those things. And because of this direct and analytical approach, in that meeting, I was able to convince everyone that we need to keep this old laser along with this advanced laser, and we need to give equal impetus to both the laser. So with this direct analytical approach, I got my thing done. But if you are in an office and you are only resorting to this direct and analytical approach, you will get your things done. The quantum of work that is done will be high, but you will be the least liked person. Whereas if you compare with a person who resort to this supportive and initiating style of communication, they are the most liked person. So to show myself, or to portray myself as a humble, approachable, and socializing person, what I do, I call a meeting. And in that meeting, the purpose is to mimic this supportive and initiating style of communication. In that meeting, what I do, I only talk about the status of the work. I give all the credit to the senior person involved in that project. I appreciate everyone, even to the person who is hardly attending or doing any work for the project. I appreciate that person also. So in this way, I maintain an equilibrium. So one side, I get the things done in my own way, in my own terms, using this direct and analytical approach. And the other side, I keep everyone happy. I keep the good faith of all my team members using this supportive and initiating style of communication. So this way, I portray myself as a humble, approachable, and socializing person. And in conclusion, I want to tell you that even if you are very talented, hardworking person, but if you want to get a big thing, a big project to be completed, then you need the support of everyone, support of all your teammates. You need to get everyone on board, and for doing that, you will need all these four style of communication. So sometimes you will need to mimic, you need to adopt the communication style which is outside your ambit. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster.
Now our last speaker of the day is Toastmaster Navi, to be evaluated by Toastmaster Pradeep. Now I would request Toastmaster Pradeep to state the speech objective. Oh, sorry, 1 minute of silence for the feedback, please. Now I welcome Toastmaster Praveen to state the speech objective and timing.
I, the gets typically incur is attempting her project free speech from the pathways mentor program. The objective of this speech is for the member to share the aspects of her first experience as a Toastmasters mentor. So all the best and timer. Do note that the speech timing is 5 to 7 minutes. So all the best and over to you.
Now I welcome Toastmaster Navi to the speech.
Many of you have signed up for something thinking that it is extremely simple, only to realize that it is as difficult as a triathlon and without any kind of training. Yes? Toastmaster of the day and my dear guest. That was exactly me. Couple of months back, very gallantly, I decided to mentor not one, but two brand new Toastmasters, and that also from a brand new corporate club. My aim was that I would mentor them as contest chairs such that they become self-sufficient. Not only them, but even their club would become self-sufficient by the time it is the next contest cycle. So now I had two challenges in front of me. Number one, they were part of a corporate club. Now, corporate clubs are a very different beast as compared to our community clubs. They only meet during working hours and by chance. If a work emergency comes up, Toastmasters is forgotten. Now, very quickly, I realized that I would have to be as flexible as a rubber band if I wanted this mentoring exercise to be successful. Now, my second challenge was my two mentees. Now, both of these mentees were as different as day and night. One was a seasoned pro in the company as well as a furniture of the company. The other one relatively new and still learning her way up. I would refer to them as senior mentee and junior mentee. Now imagine this, me, the all-knowing mentor, trying to bridge the gap between a rookie and a seasoned pro. What can go wrong, right? Now, before I get into that, quick question. I know many of you are mentors here. How quickly into mentoring did you realize that mentoring can sometimes be practicing patience? Yeah?
Most of them.
Exactly. So when we started off, my strategy was very simple. What I was going to do was, I wanted them to learn the process of contest on their own. No spoon feeding. And trust me, the temptation was real. Spoon feeding makes my life so easy, but I decided to stick to my strategy. What I did, I gave them all the rule book, I gave them the documents, the briefings, the PPT, everything available. What did I think? That they would go, read, and come back to me with questions, doubts, etc., etc. Little did I know this was going to be an exercise in patience for me. waiting for them to come back to me and ask me questions, I felt like I was sitting and watching water boiling. So I had this mantra that I said to myself, this is good for them, this is also good for you, this is good for them, this is good for me. I think the mantra was working because eventually we started our session, balancing between their working hours, their responsibilities, and the two very different temperaments of my two mentees that I spoke about. So my mentee thought that one portion of the contest was easy to understand. The junior mentee wanted a detailed analysis into that. Or if the junior mentee thought he could power through a certain portion of the contest, no. The senior mentee wanted an even deeper analysis into that. So on and so forth. Eventually, our briefings became a balancing act between all our egos and all our emotions. But I was determined that I'm going to make this mentoring a success. And much more surprisingly, my mentees were equally, if not more, determined. Now, both of these mentees of mine very admirably completed all their contest-related tasks, whether it was the logistics of the contest or the briefing of role players. Of course, they had help from their club mentors and their appointed chief judge. But by and large, they took hold of the reins and they went ahead and they stood out on their own. Now, going into this, we faced one difficulty. Both of my mentees had this vision that they wanted a venue which would be big enough, large enough, grand enough to welcome the guests, Toastmasters, and also give a very nice experience to their members who come as contestants for the first time. And what did they need for that? Approvals. Now, getting approvals from seniors was a difficult task. And some of these mentees of mine work their magic. They presented the benefits with equal amount of persistence and diplomacy. It was, like watching a chess with patient moves and strategic pauses. Eventually, they managed to get the approval. And not only that, they actually convinced the CEO of their organization to come and attend the contest and cheer the contestants. All this happened, right? So days went by and the D-Day arrived, the contest day arrived. What do you think happened on the day of the contest? Any guesses? Anything?
Yeah.
Actually, no. The contest went out without a hitch. Of course, there were few surprises, which contest doesn't have any. But it was amazing to see both of them, pick up on their basics and course correct in real time. I was so proud of watching them. And they had this amazing ability of organizing and handling difficult situations. And believe me, that day, watching them in action, I learned a thing or two. Successful contest. And so what do you think? Was my mission successful? Was my mentoring successful?
Yes.
I don't know. My mission was till next cycle they would be self-sufficient. I'll let you know when the next contest cycle happens. Now in this process, what did I learn? First, I learned mentoring requires a lot of patience, much more than I even thought of. Second, mentoring is a two-way street. You don't only teach, but you learn. These mentees taught me persistence, they taught me diplomacy, they taught me flexibility. Third and final, it is also a path of self-discovery. I learned that if I step back and allow others to spread their wings, they not only grow confident, but I discovered challenges for myself. I realized I was much more adaptable than I previously thought. And all this process, I learned that I have strengths. So dear friends, what I have to say to you is this. If you ever get a chance to mentor, don't say no. If you have an open mind, you might just learn new things about yourself. Toastmaster.
Now I would request timer of the day. Even not to be the 1 minute. For the feedback. Now I would request timer to master the present the time.
Rajesh, time was 5 minutes 30 seconds. Padmapani, 6 minutes 41 seconds. Dheeraj, 6 minutes 13 seconds. Lily, 8 minutes 2 seconds.
So, maybe in this way, all other players. So we concluded our first segment of the session. This was prepared speech. Now it's time to have a different taste, different flavor, something in front of over the stage and natural act. Now I would request Toastmaster Ruchi, our TTM of the day, to take over the dance.
One, even topic session is all about creativity, spontaneity, and perhaps a little talent. So today I have a list of some objects over here, and I'll be calling you all on the stage. And you have to come on the stage, you spread your wings, and speak about the object. Just speak anything, whatever the object reminds you. Just share some stories and your thoughts, and there are no wrong answers. Whatever the object reminds you of, whatever you feel about the object, you can speak about. Okay? So who wants to come? Yeah. Yeah, the timing is 1 to 2 minutes. The speaker has to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and for a maximum of 2 minutes 30 seconds. Okay. So who wants to come first? Yes, anyone in here? Yes, you can raise your hands. So I need please no, I expect that. So, before I hand over to you the topic, you need to close your eyes. Close your eyes. I need to feel the object with your hand. Okay? And once you have certain idea of what yes, you can please help her out. Once you are aware of, once you get some idea of what the object is, then hand me back the object and then okay, then you can start speaking. Okay. And once the speaker starts speaking, you can start. Okay, so now you can speak. And the hands can be.
Yes, right.
Yeah, you can open your eyes. Thank you, Toastmaster. There is no question of Toastmaster protocol because I don't know the topic, she only doesn't know. So what, when she gave me the object to touch something, or before I start answering the Shruti, Toastmasters, guest friends, now share. She gave me something to touch and it reminded me of the story all of us have heard in our childhood. About an elephant being in the room and blind men going and touching the elephant and trying to determine. So somebody talking about a large nose and somebody talking about a small tail and not knowing what it was and trying to guess. And today there are so many people starting from our Toastmaster the day who talking about life and lessons and entrepreneurial journey and what it means and what we should think and where. I've been thinking all this while sitting there that we are talking about life. And most of us have not hit a century. If we have, I'm very sorry. But most of us have not hit 50, 55, 60. So there is a lot of life we have not seen. Or there are stages in life we don't remember. I'm very sure we don't remember when we were 6 months, 8 months old, 1 year old. We don't remember. So most of us have been doing since the beginning of the speech what I did in the last few seconds. We're trying to touch it, tumble and understand life in our limited way. We're looking at small data sizes in deference to our scientist friend. And we're trying to look at small analysis, looking at with limited experience, exposure we have from our perspectives, and we are trying to define or starting to accept or reject life. I would say life for me is like that book I think I touched and opened and flipped through, which I know the size of, but don't know the content. Know it is thick, but don't know if it's a notebook or something that had something printed in. Because maybe I did not use all the faculties, or I was not capable of using everything that I have at my disposal. So what say we spend the next few days not judging, not finding a purpose, not pushing ourselves or whipping ourselves into action, and just living. Just breathe, smile, laugh, go on. What say? Good. Was right. More than novel. Perfect. Thank you. That's really one. So who wants to come next? Any guests? So, so I'll give you an object. And we have to use this sense of smell. Okay? To identify it. And also you need to close your eyes also. And then add me back. And then open your eyes. And then speak about it. Once you're ready, once you get some idea, then you can speak. Okay? Now you can close your eyes. Go open your eyes. You can smell it.
Please.
Now you can open your eyes.
So actually with this, I have a very close and weird also relation. So from childhood, I had this issue of headache. I suffer from migraine. I guess it's quite common. But whenever I face a lot of sunlight, I have this migraine. So I get this headaches. So I started using wigs from a very young age. And usually, and after using this, I used to get a sense of calmness. and I could focus on my work and daily activities. Now it has become so addictive, even if I don't get headaches, I just need it. So it has become like a high, it gives me a high, yeah, the high is probably the wrong word, but yeah, it's something very refreshing for me. And you won't believe, whenever I go to office, in my bag, there's always a newspaper. And whenever I am bored, there is stressful, or not know what to do, rather than having a cup of coffee, I just rub some bits on on my forehead and on my nose, and it just relaxes me. But having said that, I think it's a great innovation over time, and it's a quick relief because the issue of or having a lot of people suffer from headache and all these issues, and it has really helped a lot of students, and it has really improved our quality of life. So I'm just thinking, I hope it's a big so which I smell. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Yes, it was legs. He carried every day in the office.
Yeah.
So who wants to come next? Any guests? Please.
Chase.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so now we will take some.
Okay, good.
So the room is very hygienic, and it's not anything very exciting.
No.
You close your eyes and take something. And then, after you taste it, then you have to hand it back that object. And once you're finished with it, then only you close your eyes.
So I leave it at that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Like that. Nice one.
Tasty food. I hope whatever she is, I'm supposed to eat the entire thing.
Close your eyes.
Oh, good.
Don't be scared to the next person. You don't have to open your eyes now. You don't have to open your eyes.
Oh. The timing starts.
First eat it, and then open your eyes, and then that's it. I think I've given you enough.
It is right, you know, packet. Okay, I'll open my eyes now.
Yeah.
So this is chips, potato chips. The name is called. Lay's potato chips. So 2 minutes on Lay's potato chips is too much to speak. First of all, I don't enjoy eating Lay's potato chips. So this is something which I buy because I have a son who is like very much addicted to all these things. So there are huge bags that you get, and we end up buying that, and the entire thing is had by my son. So this is something which I don't like at all. And if I would say, if there's anything good that this thing can do, is to help you through with difficult times at home. When say suppose because of this lockdown, you have to spend time at home and with your meetings that are supposed to happen, and if your child comes and says, no, no, he needs attention. So this is one very good thing which you can give. At least for half an hour, there will be no disturbance. So this is one good thing that I can instantly think of because this is what I've used. So that is where, yes. So
So as I said, I don't have much to speak about lace, so sorry about it, but this is all I have. Cheese, tea, ice.
That was wonderful. Yes, please. So who wants to come next? What paragraph you can include? Please have a- Oh, what is the remaining sense? It's like. Yeah. So that is. Okay, so I'll give you something, like you need to hear it, okay? And for this, you don't have to close your eyes.
Of course.
I'll play something, you need to hear it out. And once you're ready, once you have certain idea, then you can start speaking. Okay?
Yeah, right. So, just now we had, one every we had. So the head sound the like the fireworks and then that we hear. I don't know if that was what it was. But like there is reminds me of incidents when I was a kid. Okay, when I also used to enjoy bursting the crackers and all. In fact, there was an incident when I was going to burst a bomb. Yes, small one. And I went to hit the bomb. The spark was too big. So over there, the bomb exploded much earlier than I thought it would. But thankfully, I was already on my way perhaps to pay for the distance. So I was not hurt. After this experience, I lost a bit of an interest in doing this. That might have been due to my age no, also because as you start to grow up, you can lose interest. So that was what that the reminded, you know. Thank you.
Hi, so who wants to come next? Alright, yeah, four. You can choose whichever sense you want. Hear, taste, feel, and
Smell.
smell. So you can take it.
Here.
Yeah.
what we heard now was a whistle, and I have never learned what to whistle like this. And nor do I really want to. But yeah, I do different types of whistles, that is basically with my children. To make them play or. Uh, this, this is, I think, typically a Mawali whistle, right?
Bollywood villain. Bollywood villain.
Yeah, Bollywood villain, or I would say Bollywood sidekick. Villain would be more sophisticated here. But this is, yeah, it is some things that people like me would wish we had done it in our youth, or not in our youth, maybe in our childhood. But we wouldn't really want to, do it now. There's an age for everything. So, but it is fun. I think I used to think that, when the boys do it, the girls don't like it. Later on, I come to know that they really, allow depends on who is doing it. So, but anyway, I have always stayed away from it. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you.
Any guest? Okay. For taste, smell, hear, and see. Here. Have something now, good things to eat as well.
We eat after them.
So this is, I think, we have seen a lot of movies. And this song reminds me of Game of Thrones, if you have any of you have watched it. It's a war cry. And when there is a war, it was what I get. So it's a war cry sound when the war is supposed to start. So somebody kind of give you indication to their people that there is going to be an attack. And I have heard it a lot in a movie series called Game of Thrones. So it's about there are different realms and there are wars going on. What's going on, and then there is a war where dead people and the living people are also on fight, also in fight, and this sound is played over and over again. And sometimes I feel I should be in that era. I will be playing this song so that we can remember it.
So,
I like to taste.
then you have to close your eyes. And I'll give you something to drink.
Don't give me thumbs up.
Anything else?
What is the company? How did you taste the brand?
Yeah, I'll give you something to drink.
Thumbs up, correct? I will take it back.
That means favorites of it, she's not throwing a party.
Yes, is not somebody is not. Chocolate like what?
Answer my
ब्रेक के बाद मुझे रुचिका बैठ चाहिए
हाँ break.
नहीं आपको
You want to open your eyes, first grab it, and then open your eyes.
Every time give her tea.
It's so good.
This is something I felt that like the pan masala sort of a thing, pan paraga something. And normally, if you go to Jamnagar and all the Gujus there, they eat a lot of these things. And regularly, almost every day, they eat this kind of packets, almost 10 to 20 packets they have it. And when you talk to them, they are continuously chewing those things in their mouth. And their whole mouth is almost red all the day. So even I'm a Guju and people feel that I should also be doing that, but I really don't. My family does not like that, and I also didn't like the taste of that. So because of pan masala, I really don't like it, and probably I think if it's not good for health also, so we should avoid it. I'm not seeing any time card, but I think I don't it by 1 minute. Give him more. No, you can have more. I don't want to have more, but I would like to say that again, don't have it because it is not good for your health. Yeah. How about right?
Not like that.
Okay.
And fun, it was fun, it was, I think it's still like fun, it was healthy. Please have a little. For an amazing favorite of the session. I to appreciate everyone who has come on the stage and spread their wings and use their senses to guess the objects. And let's have a little round of applause for all of them. Now let's call upon the time of Toastmasters members come from to present the time report for all the people. Uh, 2.20 seconds. The Rathod, 1 minute, 24 seconds. Jesse, 1 minute, 47 seconds. Praveen, 2 minutes, 14 seconds. Rajesh, 1 minute, 23 seconds. Ravi, 1 minute, 17 seconds. Dharmesh, 1 minute, 10 seconds. So everything is positive. So now I'm going to call upon the close of the day.
Thank you, Ruchi, for such a wonderful session. Now we have concluded the second part of the session and we will go for the break. Break would be for the 10 minutes and I would request everyone at the end of 10 minutes to assemble back again. We will conclude the session, we will third part of this. Thank you very much.
Chocolate?
Chocolate भी उनको बचपन किया था क्या क्या अच्छा रुचि बाहर
आज ब्रेक नहीं है
So good evening once again. Hope the snacks were delicious. If any suggestion for the change of spelling, that's appreciable.
Here's one.
If self-funded also can also be able to issue. Now, I started with the theme that what is life and what meaning we take out of life, how we are approaching it, or what could be done. Definitely, it's personal, one-to-one individual thing. But if you think, the day we are born, we didn't brought anything over earth. And the day we will leave, we are not going to take anything from here. So we didn't brought anything, we are not going to take anything away from here. In between, whatever we got, we were in net positive. We didn't brought, we are not going to take away. Whatever we got in between the journey, we are net positive, which means there is no reason to be unhappy. Always we have a lot of things with us, and we should celebrate that. Life is supposed to be a happy adventure because being born, living that day, and observing and experiencing the moments, the happenings, is what going to collect you memories in the end. And that's all you're going to, that's all is going to stay in your mind in the end, that memories. So rather than counting your chickens all the time, sometimes just observe or watch the chickens, I will say. So that will give you the pleasure. Also, if we see, we try to keep on aggregating a lot of things, become emotionally attached. And if something doesn't go as per our taste, we grieve or we feel pain. But if you think with 7 billion people on earth, so many external factors, even if you put it mathematically, it's so many external factors, anything you thought would not always go over as your plan because there are so many external inputs into it. It is supposed to have variances in it. It is supposed to have deviation from your plan because there are so many external variables involved. So rather than expecting everything as per your wish, the moment you start with a thought that what happened as per my taste, well enough. What didn't happen as per my taste, it was bound to happen. It was mathematically bound to happen. You accept the things and you become happy. Now we will move into the third session of the day, which is evaluation session. I would request our general evaluator, Toastmaster Sangeeta Suti, to the stage. Welcome.
Thank you, Toastmaster today. Long road, well carried. Round of applause. Third, dear sitting members, so I'm going to do a rectification and say, Toastmaster, please celebrate saying feedback is. Feedback is breakfast. Champions, so we dedicate an entire section of the meeting to feedback. This section is divided into 3 main parts. The first part is dedicated speech evaluations by specific evaluators who will concentrate on the prepared speeches given and evaluate. Second part is the tactic report. The timer, the hour counter, the grammarian will be listening to us all meeting will give us their evaluations. The third section is the general evaluators report regarding all aspects of the meeting. Let us move forward and start off with the evaluations of the prepared speeches. Whenever I take up this role, there is a specific way I like to do speech evaluations. We do 2 parts. One part is audience evaluation, the other part is the evaluators evaluation. So first speech of the day today was an icebreaker given by Toastmaster Rajesh. What is the one thing we remember about that speech?
Humor, your goals. First your goals. Entrepreneur, goals, humor, good, speeches stuck in memory. First target. Let me call upon Toastmaster Amruta to evaluate Toastmaster Rajesh's efforts. Speaker is not reached the podium. Applause for the A journey of a miles start with a single stage, whether it's entrepreneurship or public speaking. And you are taking the first step as a public speaker today. Many congratulations on that. And big round of applause for the many parts where I relate to you. When you told that you are BE and MBA. Then you told that your parents were upset. It's quite often, very often with me as well. So there are many parts I can relate to you. I'm going to evaluate your speech on the basis of three things which I like the most. First thing, your speech was structured. You started with a story, funny story, and related to the content of your speech, and ending with a proper message for the audience. So your content was articulated. Second, humor was there. When you shared your boss story, that your boss told you to work hard for himself. So that was quite funny. And second, when you told that I like chaos, but God gave me more chaos than I can handle. So that was also a funny part. Third, you have a powerful message when you told that never lose hope. And it's not only about message, you narrated your own story so people can believe in that message as well. So I really like that. There are two basic recommendations you can implement and improve your speech on the next level. First, whenever you are going to deliver any speech, and specifically in Toastmaster, read your project objective. You are going to deliver icebreaker. Introduce yourself to the public. So basically, you have to talk about your personal life, your professional life, and why do you join Toastmaster. So basically, you talk about your qualification and personal life, professional life as well, but a little bit more about your personal life as well. So read your objective very well. Second, avoid unnecessary action on the stage, like roaming around unnecessarily, and you are looking at your hand in YouTube, you can avoid that. Overall, it was excellent speech, articulated content, humor was there, and a powerful message. Just work on this basic recommendation, know your project objective, and avoid unnecessary action. And when it takes stubbornness to be succeed as an entrepreneur, you had that. So I wish you all the luck to become biggest entrepreneur in our country, so we can introduce you Toastmaster Rajesh from Bharata. Back to you, Toastmaster. Okay, so evaluated for finish of the areas podium this year. Moving on to the second speech of the day by Toastmaster Padma Pani. What stuck with us? Quickly, police. Police, all as well. Okay. First, marking. Audiences remember this speech. To evaluate Toastmaster Padma Pani's speech, I am going to call a person I have come to acknowledge as the gentle giant. A lady who can do anything she takes up with panache. A mother who effortlessly saves through things. Toastmaster Ashwin Puri.
A very good evening once again. Congratulations on your beautiful speech, Toastmaster Padma Pani. So there is a saying which says, what you do speaks so loud that I cannot hear what you say. This is something that Ralph Emerson has said, which clearly stresses the importance of body language and vocal variety. What was the purpose of today's Toastmaster Padma Pani speech? Your beginning of the speech, all is well, at a tone captivated everyone's attention. The first 10 seconds, like they say, is the time when you can actually capture the audience attention, and you rightly did that. Your speech had a good story and had a good suspense. we were really gripped till the end to know who the police was, why did they come, what was the purpose of their visit, and to ensure that it is kept as a suspense till the end, and we really do not lose a grip of the story. The main purpose of today's speech was to ensure that you introduce vocal variety and body language in your speech, which would enhance it further. So there were few parts of the speech. Like you said that I said hello, and when he said there was a police, the phone suddenly dropped. You caught the bull by the horn, and your duck 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 went really well. So you had the right introduction of vocal variety and body language in your speech right from the beginning. Now, as an evaluator, I have few recommendations that would really enhance your speech when you introduce it next time when you come on the stage. In few parts of the speech, I felt that you lost the audience contact when you started staring at the ground. From the beginning, what I saw is you had the right contact, and suddenly in between, we lost contact. So I would say that maintain the eye contact with the audience so that you do not lose the contact with. The beginning of the speech had the right amount of vocal variety and body language. And by the time we were at the end of the speech, somewhere it fizzed out. So I would say that having the vocal variety and body language rightly across your phases of the speech would actually balance it out and not just keep it in the beginning of the speech. And the third thing I felt in the speech, I was looking for a call out, a message or something which was missing. It was a short story which had happened across, which you had come across. So something to end the speech with would have made it a little more better. So according to me, you have met the objectives of the speech, that is introducing the vocal variety and body languages with the right amount of introduction of it, and also your speech structure was well. I would say maintaining the full eye contact and having these vocal variety and body language across all the phases of the speech would enhance it. Thank you so much and all the very best.
First speech of the day, our president, Toastmaster Dheeraj. What stood out? Communication style. Communication style. Really, that laser stood out. I didn't even know they were different. That is what stood out for me. And to evaluate his speech is someone who's a sales professional, has been up to very recently, very active in the aroma industry. And if you remember, took us through an entire session one day talking about all kinds of aromas and things we didn't know exist. Calling on stage our next evaluator, Toastmaster Agnel.
Tyson said, Mike Tyson said, your mind has to be stronger than your heart to be successful in life. Even if your heart says otherwise, or it was being outside of your comfort zone, how different communication styles can be used to achieve a larger goal is exemplified by Toastmaster drills today. The humor at the beginning of the speech is applaudable, and being married, I can of course let to. I congratulate Toastmaster Dheeraj for already identifying his communication style, which is a combination of direct and analytical communication. It made all of us thinking, what is our own communication style? The story of the advanced blazer versus the old blazer is very, very relatable to our day-to-day work. The clever way of calling a second meeting to give credit to the other people so that not to antagonize them or disagreeing with them earlier is a learning for all of us. I'm sure it has helped Toastmaster Dheeraj to spread his wings at the workplace And of course, it was an act of gratitude. The importance of being social and empathetic at a workplace really pays off sometimes. This is beautifully highlighted by Toastmaster Dheeraj. And this awareness has come because Toastmaster Dheeraj has identified his communication style. This is another reason why we should reflect ourselves to find our own communication style. For improvement, I do not find much, but in some places I felt that the pace of the speech could have been somewhat slower. And use of some more pauses here and there would make your speech really, really impactful. So to sum up, it was great beginning, great understanding of the speech objective, perfect story narration, of course, improvement-wise, use of more pauses. I'd like to conclude my evaluation with a quote from Tony Robbins. He said, "The way we communicate with others and with ourselves ultimately determines the quality of our lives."
Final speech of the day given by Toastmaster Abraham, powerhouse of this club. What stood out?
Patience.
Patience. Senior training. Okay. To evaluate your speech, most of us know that the day-to-day working of the club is run by the executive committee of the club, and currently serving on the executive committee and responsible for all those posters and more importantly, all those timely notifications that are coming out is our Vice President PR, Toastmaster Praveen Mehdi. What speaker is not on stage?
Thank you for your informational speech. We did not know what to expect when we take up a role like this. So, thank you for that. And congratulations on fulfilling your speech objectives. What I like about your speech is that you had a good structure. Like when you opened the speech, you asked a question which set the tone of your speech. Then you had a good body and you ended up with a call to action. You covered the main aspects of what I would have expected to be in your speech. So you spoke on what you expected after you started your interactions, and then the challenges that you had, and then you spoke on what you learned. So that it was a good thing. So you maintain good eye contact. We all you had some good hand gestures. Like there was one place where you spoke of all that they did, and you said all that they did. So that was a good thing. What I would have liked to see is like you speak on your reasons on why you took on this role and why you took on two mentors. Once because that would have helped me to appreciate the challenges that you had even more. Then if you do some pauses, right? So when you explain that whenever there was some issue at work, the Toastmaster would come to a stop because that compounded the changes that you had. So if you had paused there, that would have helped us to solve that. Even though your hand gestures were good, I thought there were many of them. Like say you spoke of the two different nature of your entities. So you went to the different nature of the entities. So that was a bit excessive because that may distract us. When yes, you went over the time, so we will bit more practice. Overall, the good speech, you had a good structure. You covered the main aspects. You had good eye contact. You could include some pauses, maybe limit your hand gestures, and your speech will be even better. So, thank you. And
Thank you, Toastmaster Praveen. That concludes the first section of the general evaluation, where we have evaluated specific speech experience. The next section is to listen to people who have been listening to us all day. Let us start off with the timer of the day. I request Toastmaster Kanta to kindly come forward and give the timers. First evaluation. 3 minutes, 9 seconds. Raghu, 3 minutes, 17 seconds. Praveen, 4 minutes, 39 seconds. Now listen to every slip and and move and that we have used. And let us call our counter of the day, Toastmaster Arsha. When I ask, I always what questions you. What? Good evening, everyone. So the moment I took this role of our counter, so as I'm new to the club, so first I did some research and understood why our counter is important for any speech, right? For the speech from the childhood, we thought the vocabulary should be good so that we can impress the audience or else we can give the right message. Then humor came into the picture, like eventually when we grow up, just to get the attention of the people, you have to get the humor. But after joining Toastmaster Club, I got to know our counter also play a very important role. It's one of the spices of any meal, right? It gives the proper composition. You can deliver your speech very well and very easily, and the message is very clear. So the second thing what I did, I categorized like how I am going to differentiate each and every speaker. So I bifurcate them in 3 parts. Good, like a speaker who use the preposition color more than 10 times, and then 5 to 10 times
average, then good, and very good. So I think today everyone have spoken very well. Everyone was prepared, like even in prepared speech, and even if we talk about table topic speaker. So I have not noted down like anyone who have passed the counting of five. So everyone is qualified and everyone got the very good from my side. Okay, so thank you.
Handshake on stage. He's very happy because much to be just not in the meeting. She is 24 months. Moving on, we have had time, we have had expression, moving on to language. Is coming up with our grammarian report for the day. Again, a member of our executive committee, a very active and award-winning dynamic vice president membership, Toastmaster Rohita Sridhar.
Thank you very much, Navi. Hello everyone. How many people you think have used the word and phrase of the day? Everyone. Pat your back, whoever has used. Let me share the name of those people, those members who have used the word of the day. Toastmaster Rajesh, Toastmaster Padmapani, Toastmaster Dheeraj, Toastmaster Lipi, Toastmaster Ruchi, and Toastmaster Raghav. They all use the word of the day. Now, phrase of the day was again used by Toastmaster Rajesh, Toastmaster Padmapani, Toastmaster Dheeraj, Toastmaster Ruchi. She used it twice. Toastmaster Raghav. Big round of applause for all. Yes, now, very good use of phrases that I found during today's meeting. I filled almost half of this page. Toastmaster Ravi, you used the blue ocean strategy value. Coherence, truth has many phases. Chance to accept variances. Then words like polygamy, polyandry. Toastmaster Rajesh, magnanimous, neck deep dead. Pester. And Toastmaster Padmapani, he used words like stable, take bull by the horns, cascade of thoughts coming. Toastmaster Dheeraj, maintaining equilibrium and congruence. Toastmaster Libby, the mental part, as flexible as a rubber band. Seasoned pro, a rookie and a season one. The temptation was real. And the mantra that you shared, I really like it, so I noted it. Good for them, good for me. Then the mentorship, a statement you said, very effective. Path of mentorship is nothing but it's a path of self-discovery. Then Toastmaster Sangeeta. Cliche, panache. Take up the show. Toastmaster Rashmi used this statement. Somewhere it fills out. Toastmaster Raghav, he used sense of calmness for this. He used two excellent quotes like the first one said by Mike Tyson, mind needs to be stronger than your heart. And the second by Tony Robbins, it was the way we communicate to ourselves and we communicate to others is the quality of our lives. Now, overall, great usage of phrases. Excellent meeting, but just a little bit of rectifications on the speeches. Comforted me can be placed like he made me comfortable. Getting my thing done could be rectified as get my work done. And I'm a socializing person can be rectified as I'm a social person. And instead of saying headaches, it can be called as headache. And there are 8 words that I found which can be pronunciated in a little bit better way. Objective, it can be said as objective. Hard, it's not hard, it should be hard. Stay, it should be stay. Session, it needs to be session. Reason, it needs to be reason. Communication can be rectified as communication. Positive can be positive to just make the job softer. Example can be example. So overall, this was the report I was able to make a note of. Thank you so much.
was our acting report. That completes the second section of general evaluation. The third section is the overall report or overall evaluation of the meeting. They say charity begins with us, so I am going to say evaluation begins with us, and first section of my report is going to talk about us as audience. Fortunately or unfortunately, the benefit of a Toastmasters program is if you are fully involved, and you will be fully involved as an audience at all times. As audience, I am going to request all of us to please applaud enthusiastically as many times as required for as many people coming out. What happens when you are evaluating and you have a friend in the audience? Secondly, I was going to request all of us to see, is it possible for us to have 2.5 hours of mobile free time? Guilty as charged, even I check my mobile once. But can we have 2.5 hours of mobile free time where we're not playing games on the mobile, not checking WhatsApp, not looking at calls, and just looking at someone on stage? Right or wrong? Do whatever it takes to help us make evaluation notes. Do anything, just keep off your mobile. Is it possible? Let us check. Thirdly, very basic thing I would say is move in and out of the meeting room only when you hear applause. There is a poster also to that effect outside. Let us move on and go to specific role players. I will take it from the top. We started the meeting on time, achievement, and we should applaud ourselves. Our Sergeant Accounts, Toastmaster Shubham, he started the meeting energetically. He's always an energetic presence on stage, which is very much required at the beginning. Kudos to you for that. One small so all that backlog in the first through the day, I'll make sure we complete right. One small recommendation to you is to introduce the presiding officer. Same person coming on stage every week, but still introduce the presiding officer. This is the time for the sergeant to get creative and find new ways of introducing the same person. So I will challenge you with that. Moving on to our presiding officer. Inspiring story as always. I would recommend a little more energy on stage, a little more pep because this is the meeting getting started. And that sets the tone for the meeting. Our Toastmaster of the day. I was very interested to see what a topic as serious as this would be. But our Toastmaster of the day took it into dimensions and made us think of different things when he said dare to believe, spoke about life, spoke about understanding. Kudos to you. Great job done, Toastmaster of the day. Or I think among our role players today, our timer and half counter have taken up the role for the first time. Is that correct? Can I request you to rise? And can I request you to we can guarantee you to do something for the first time. Kindly repeat it. Our table topics master. Very innovative table topics. It wasn't it was props, and then she asked us to close our eyes and use our senses and made us jump through hoops and still give us speech. So good, kept everybody on their feet, kept people alert. Good job, Toastmasters. All table topic speakers, great job done. Whether it was somebody giving us a tobacco warning, somebody like me rambling all over the place to get to the point, or somebody else who spoke about his severe like or rather dislike of lace chips. All speakers did a great job, left an impression. Everybody who tried table topics, great round of applause for them, please. I have certain recommendations for certain roles. This doesn't limit to the role player today. I think all of us should take these recommendations when we play those roles. Starting from whenever we take up the role of a Toastmaster today, we need to make sure that anybody who comes on stage is introduced first. It is about building a little hype for that person coming up. It doesn't have to be a professional introduction. It could be an introduction about something they did in the club. So the club knows them by something, but build a little anticipation and introduce every person coming on stage. very important to introduce the speakers coming on stage. I would recommend we don't announce the name of the speaker till that person is about to walk on stage. So we introduce and then say the name of the speaker, the person coming on stage. Another little request I would make to everybody is we have guests, we have newbie Toastmasters. Let us not use or use less abbreviations. Let us not say TTM, let us say Table Topics Master. Let us not say, TMOD, let us say Toastmaster of the day. So let us use less abbreviations so that we don't come across as closed or incomprehensible to people who are trying to explore or join us. Another few things I would say is, when we are taking up a tag role or something, good, we are innovating, great job. But the script that we have is tried and tested and there for a purpose. So I would recommend, even if we are innovating, we include the script, we follow the script. Also, the agenda has a specific amount of time for each of us. When we are deviating too much from our script, maybe we are eating up that time, we need to be conscious. If we are able to innovate and include the script within the time, well and good, let us do it. Otherwise, let us see where we can do what best fits. That was one recommendation for all of us. And a little recommendation for when we take up evaluations. I saw a few evaluators today on stage without paper or their notebook. Good try. I would recommend all of us to do that. Leave our papers and notebooks behind and come and give evaluations. Let's try and see if we can do that. This is the place to learn. Second request is to keep an eye on project objectives and see if project objectives are met, and to also say that if the project objectives have been met or not, because based on that, that project gets completed or has to be repeated. So that is a small thing all of us as evaluators can keep in mind. Another small thing that all of us can keep in mind is that we are an active, vibrant club, and we will remain an active, vibrant club as long as all of us are interested in being so. Are we?
Yes.
Brilliant. With that, I will conclude the evaluation session. Hand it back to the Toastmaster today.
What a lovely evaluation by Toastmasters. We are running with past time, so I would like to finish with few sentences. I would like to conclude. So, the entire whatever I dictated till now, the summary is like this: that there is nothing but happiness in life. If it goes with your mind, it's fine. Even if it doesn't goes with your mind, variances are supposed to happen. So accept it. Third thing, your mind is supposed to work upon problem. And after the time it tells about the problem. And if you see 100%, it will tell about the things, and out of the 100% problem, 95% of the time those problems didn't occur in your life. And if 5% of those problems happen in your life, you are easily able to navigate it. So it kind of exemplifies the problems, amplifies the problems. So next time it's telling you the problem, just tell you are acting as an enemy. There is no problem in life. Even if something appears, I will be able to navigate it. But to do all of this, our mind and body need to be in sync, which means I can have this concept in the mind, but until unless my body or I took action, it won't match and it won't give the result. So today, I dare to live. I took this chance, even though my mind was telling there is something fearful is going to happen. I took this chance, and by keeping on taking this chance, one day my mind will understand there is no problem. It was amplifying the situation, and down the line, same things applies for most walks on the line. With that, I will conclude that just enjoy, observe, experience of all the happenings. Just don't wait for the results, because one outcome is definitely there, that is experience, and that's all we then carry ourselves. Thank you very much. And I will call upon President, presiding official of the day, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Ravi, for being the keyboard. We also got an announcement. Before that, I would like to start the poll. So, the polls link has been shared in the group?
Yes.
Okay. So, you can start the polling. And guess if you want to vote if you got the QR code with you.
People vote.
While we are voting, I would like to have the installation of our new member, that is Toastmaster Himakanta. So please welcome her on stage.
Hello, she has a please state.
So there is a ritual that we follow, I would say, and you have to say whether it's you. So membership in Toastmasters is a privilege, and the only way to gain the benefits of the program is to actively participate. So do you Toastmasters Timberkanta promise to attend the club meetings regularly and prepare for your duties to the best of your ability? And this is the question to all the members here. Do you, members of Agnel Toastmasters Club, pledge to support Toastmaster Timberkanta in her quest for self-development and promise to make their membership a rewarding and fulfilling experience? Yes, we do. Now I hand you. We also had an icebreaker today, so we will be having sharing this with the Toastmaster Rajesh. While the voting is still on, I have some announcement to be made. First thing is that our current treasurer, that is Toastmaster Vinay, he has been appointed as the DLC chair by district 98. So he is very busy with his work, and that is why he will not be continuing as our treasurer. And we have appointed Toastmaster Rajesh as our treasurer. So I would request, I would welcome you for support for us. You are already supporting us with your various word of the day activities in our group regularly, and this will be an addition. Second thing is that we have, I will talk about the upcoming meetings. So our next meeting is on 16th November, that is next Saturday. It will be around in this region itself, Port Blue management side. Then on that day itself, I request all the new members, especially to join. We will be having one educational session by Toastmaster Libby, where she'll be talking about the various roles and about the XCOM rules. Yeah. She agreed because she forgot, so I am reminding her about it. And on 17th November, we have our division contest, and two of our members, that is Toastmaster Meenakshi and Toastmaster Vidya, they are also participating. So I request you to join and participate, or rather attend that contest and encourage them. Next, we have the 23rd. We have a joint. We are planning. We are in planning with the or a joint meeting with other Toastmasters. So I would request you to attend that meeting also. It will be a great fun. 23rd of November. And next meeting after that we will be having the meeting on 30th November. So this all the Sundays we are having in this month the meeting. So please attend the meeting. We also have the contest coming up, probably which is tentatively it is on mid of January. So there it is the ISC competition contest and also the table topics. For table topics, we do not have any eligibility criteria, so anybody can participate. For ISC, you need to complete, that is international speech contest. You need to complete level 2. So those who are completed level 1 or are on the verge of completing level 2, please try to complete level 2 so that you can participate in ISC. So this was all the announcements. We have the certificates. The best auxiliary role player. Any guesses? So yeah. Best table topic speaker. Any guesses from these names? Toastmaster Sangeeta speak.
I'm not moving. One second. So then you take the.
Best graduate. Rashmi is gone, so I can keep it with.
You only want it like this.
Last. Best role player. The victory against Sangeeta City. I wanted him to stay on stage, so that is why I was.
Oh, I saw. Okay.
And the best speaker for today. Those parts of Padmavani. Guys, we have come to the end of the session. I will officially open the meeting and we can all gather together for a group photo.